For decades, the image of local law enforcement was a single, standardized sedan. Today, that one-size-fits-all approach is a massive operational liability. A modern department has to navigate high-speed interdictions on highways, track suspects through unpaved backwoods, and manage mass crowds in dense urban centers. The problem for municipal decision-makers is that they have to counter all of these diverse, complex threats using strictly finite, heavily scrutinized public budgets. This chart shows the core dilemma: versatility versus capital burden. Every vehicle purchased forces a choice between everyday general utility and specialized, expensive capability. A standard patrol car offers high operational versatility with a low capital burden, but an aviation unit sits on the opposite end. It requires massive capital to buy and maintain while serving a highly specific, low-frequency purpose. To figure out exactly where the money should go, we are going to audit the 20 distinct units of the modern police arsenal to determine their true return on investment. We have to separate the daily workhorses that handle routine calls from the highly specialized niche units that carry hidden, long-term logistical costs. Failing to properly calculate this return either bankrupts the municipal budget with upkeep costs or leaves officers lacking the necessary hardware during a specialized crisis. This matrix shows the foundational tier of the police fleet, the generalists. These platforms are designed for maximum public visibility and baseline response to the majority of emergency calls. Upgrading from a standard patrol car to an interceptor requires serious engineering. Departments pay a premium for enhanced engine power, reinforced framing, and upgraded braking systems required to safely execute high-speed pursuits. Recently, departments have heavily shifted toward police SUVs. They are actively trading top-end speed for the physical space required to carry more personnel, tactical armor, and heavy medical gear. That extra space comes with a direct operational trade-off. SUVs consume significantly more fuel and lack the tight maneuverability of sleek interceptors during high-speed scenarios. Moving past the highly visible units, we find the covert generalists. Here, we have to distinguish strictly between an unmarked car and a fully undercover vehicle. An unmarked car is primarily used to monitor traffic and observe infractions, without its presence instantly causing civilians to hit their brakes and alter their driving behavior. An undercover vehicle, however, is customized to match specific criminal environments. To achieve absolute camouflage, departments strip away all standard police hardware, sacrificing everyday utility entirely. While these generalist platforms yield the highest daily return on investment, their broad design guarantees they will fail when deployed into highly specialized tactical situations or extreme environmental conditions. When generalists fail, departments turn to the high-stakes specialists. These are vehicles engineered strictly for extreme, low-frequency events where officer safety overrides all budget concerns. SWAT vehicles are built around structural survivability. They rely on heavy armor plating and reinforced viewing ports to safely transport officers directly into armed standoffs. For mass civil unrest, riot control vehicles deploy different hardware adaptations. They utilize defensive barriers, reinforced grills, and roof-mounted water cannons to manage large crowds. Specialized roles often require an entire reconstruction of the vehicle's interior to accommodate unique, volatile cargo, such as canine units or high-risk prisoners. A canine vehicle requires constant life support technology for the animal. This means installing structural safety cages, redundant climate control systems, and dedicated ventilation fans. This creates the lockout trade-off. By permanently altering the interior for a dog or a prisoner compartment, that vehicle can never be used for a standard multi-officer patrol. The fleet permanently loses a flexible asset. Mobile command centers push this logistical burden to the maximum. These massive hubs require slide-out sections, heavy telecommunications arrays, and huge amounts of storage space. This brings us to the idle asset trap. Heavy specialists provide indispensable physical protection during critical crises. But their exorbitant acquisition costs, combined with 95% downtime, make them a severe drain on a localized budget. There are environments where traditional four-wheeled platforms immediately become liabilities, specifically extreme urban gridlock and impassable natural terrain. In highly congested areas, motorcycle and bicycle units provide a massive tactical advantage. Their narrow profiles allow them to pierce right through stalled traffic to achieve rapid response times. Mounted units offer distinct superiority in crowded pedestrian zones by elevating an officer's line of sight and managing crowds in a way machines cannot replicate. However, all exposed units share severe limitations. They are highly vulnerable to weather, require intense physical and animal training, and possess zero capacity for transport. Moving above the streets, we find a strategic showdown for aerial dominance: the legacy manned helicopter versus the tech disruptor drone. A helicopter provides an unmatched capability to deliver massive, rapid fields of view and maintain active pursuit tracking over huge geographic distances. But that capability comes with crippling financial realities. A department must constantly pay for expensive aviation fuel, specialized mechanics, and highly paid pilot salaries just to keep it airborne. Drones serve as a highly budget-friendly countermeasure. They offer immediate, highly disposable aerial surveillance in hazardous zones, though they are strictly limited by battery constraints and range. By leveraging low-cost tech disruptors like drones and bicycles, a municipality can achieve specialized terrain dominance without taking on the crushing capital burden of legacy systems. When we shift from analyzing individual vehicles to designing a holistic fleet, the ultimate metric of success is jurisdictional topography. For a rural or border-focused fleet manager, the operational mandate is defined by vast distances and rugged, unpaved terrain. The optimal rural composition requires heavy investment in standard SUVs, dedicated off-road vehicles with durable suspensions, and drone units to cheaply monitor massive, isolated areas. The dense urban fleet manager faces the exact opposite scenario: daily gridlock, tight alleys, and intense population density. Here, the ideal composition demands high concentrations of standard patrol sedans, agile motorcycle and bicycle units, and unmarked vehicles, while strictly limiting fuel-heavy SUVs. This still leaves the problem of ultra-expensive, low-frequency specialist vehicles, like SWAT transports and mobile command centers, that neither environment can easily afford. The strategic funding solution is straightforward. These assets should not be purchased by local precincts. They need to be funded at the county or state level as shared, heavily deployable resources. This chart shows how a shared resource strategy works in practice. It protects local budgets from the idle asset trap while still maintaining emergency access to heavy hardware when a crisis actually hits. This approach aligns perfectly with how we evaluate operational systems here at Inside Anchor. Every choice must be weighed against strict resource allocation and practical trade-offs. A truly optimized police fleet aligns its capital investment with the specific topographical realities of the local landscape.